welcome back to another episode of the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast.
Oh boy.
Sean and Dane are with you, as always. What's
Yes,
going on,
we
man?
are. Not too much, man. Another day.
Another day. All right, let's not waste any time. Let's jump right into our favorite segment, a segment we call What You Drinking?
What you drinking?
Well, hey, we're bringing it back to Cleveland yet again. Platform Brewing, one of our faves. We got a little Haze Jude, a sexy, hazy IPA. Dude, I mean, it's very tropical for
so
a hazy.
So good.
Let's see, what is this bad boy? 6%.
Mm-hmm.
It's not too overly heavy, only 46 IBUs, so not overly hoppy. But man, is it a summer beer and a half. So if you're ever in Cleveland or ever see one of these bad boys, little platform, get yourself some Haze Jude.
Just do it. Dane, who is that brought to us by?
It's brought to us by our friend at Colorado Cornhole Connection / sponsor. My friend, it's a mutual friendship, but
That one right over there.
yeah, if you need some sick boards, some cool score towers, print on anything. I mean, he's got cool merch too. Hit up iHeartCornhole.com. Use code BIGASP10. That'll get you 10% off.
Sure will. All right, well, Cornhole family, we obviously have more audio gold planned for you all today. We're going to chat about some of the ACL awards that are coming up and who we feel is in the running. And then we're going to be reviewing several series of bags. We have 2 series of bags brought to you by Black Sheep Baggers. We have Costello and the OG. And another new bag company called Crazy 8 Bag Company and their Dominator.
Oh, yeah.
Then we're going to be joined by ACL pros, a couple guys you might have heard of, no Wooten, and apparently he's bringing along his buddy Hunter Thorne.
Awesome.
But before we get to all that, we bring you what's going on in our cornhole lives in a segment we call In and Around the Hole.
Are you too good for your home? Answer me!
Brought to you by Airwolf Athletics. Sean's rocking the brand new 724 collab hat here. Yeah, Airwolf does it right. So go on, log on to airwolfathletics.com. Get yourself some sexy swag. Use code BIGASP. It'll get you 10% off.
I also love this t-shirt. My Big Daddy
Big
Cornhole.
Daddy.
Love it. So when I was on vacation, Nathan, my brother-in-law,
Yeah.
he thought that this was me. He's like,
A little bit more beard. That's you, man. Rock the chain.
Yeah, he's like, oh, you got a shirt with your face made on it. I'm like, no, not quite. But so Doug, apparently I'm your doppelganger. I think you're like a foot taller than me, but that's okay. You're a sexy dude, and so am I. So it works. Dane, what year is it?
It is 2021.
21. When you think of 21, you think of 2 things. That's cornhole and blackjack.
Mm-hmm.
You put those together, you get blackjack cornhole. The home of the sexiest logo in the game. You get free shipping, amazing customer service. It's a no-brainer. Grab all your cornhole gear at blackjackcornhole.com. If you use code BIGASP, you save 10%.
Yeah.
Did you throw it all this week?
The only throwing I got to do was doing these 3 bags here. Work's kicking my ass, so I just don't have much time right now.
Hey, congrats. You got a new position at work.
I did. Yeah, it's fun for now.
Same thing. Threw these bags just to, kind of remind myself of how these bags were playing. We went to the Ohio State Cornhole Championships.
That we did.
We went there, did some fun random interviews with some pros and Chris Meek and some up-and-coming players.
Heck
Victor
yeah.
Glass, Ursula White. They're both going to go head to the pro qualifier.
And then Jesse Benninger skirted on us.
Yeah, come on, man.
Weak. I can't wait for you to listen to this.
Yeah, your shit is so weak. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Shit's weak.
My goodness. But yeah, besides that, it was weird going to a cornhole event and not participating.
Dude. Like,
it was weird.
Was there a faster 2 hours in the world? Like,
No.
I felt like we walked in and we were gone, like, in the blink of an eye. Now, granted, we would have loved to have stayed later.
Yeah.
We had things going on.
Family,
I was glad to at least
kids.
get out there to see everyone. I mean, it's been a long time, and it was still great to get out, see everyone, see some bags thrown. I mean, wish we could have stuck around to see like one of the finals just to see something, but alas, family and being busy, it just doesn't go well with cornhole sometimes.
It doesn't. Okay, so let's go ahead and jump ahead. So we kind of announced on Facebook. I guess Trey Ryder did it for us on Twitter. We were asked a few days ago if we wanted to participate in the voting process for some of the ACL awards this year.
Yeah.
First of all, honored.
Dude.
It was cool. I mean,
Very, very honored.
If nothing else, it kind of I guess it validates a little bit that
Sean,
our
names were on Trey Ryder's Twitter.
I mean,
he shouted us out.
Our full name, right?
Our full name,
right? Not just like big ads. So we were honored. So there's going to be 3 total awards that we're going to be voting on. We're going to get a vote on MVP, Rookie of the Year, and I guess it's like most improved kind of thing, okay? What we wanted to do this week is go over people who we thought were most qualified for Rookie of the Year and then most improved, and then next week we'll break down MVP and what else
What do you
we
want?
do?
Doubles team of the year?
No, so we're going to do MVP, and then we're also going to talk about who our biggest disappointments were of the season.
I like it.
All right.
I like it.
So that'll be next week. But this week, we're going to focus on Rookie of the Year and Most Improved. And let's start off with Rookie of the Year.
All right.
I think that there's a few obvious ones that come to mind right off the bat.
I mean, fire Cornhole right off the rib.
Okay, so you have Matt Guy, Brett Guy, Eric Davis, right? So fire Cornhole, 3 out of the 4, they're rookies this year, in quotes, right? Mm-hmm. Matt Guy. All right, let's just go over some of their credentials, and we can kind of talk through whether we think it hurts or helps, all that stuff. Matt Guy is currently sitting at 6th in singles. He's also sitting 1st in doubles. He is the leader in combined PPR at 10.04, total 4-baggers, and DPR.
I mean, how do you beat that when you're talking about a rookie, let alone the MVP?
It's ridiculous. I think Trey had posted last week that he was almost the statistical leader in every category except for Trey beat him in 4-bagger percentage by like 0.2 something. Matt Guy, what else can you say about him? I mean, again, his only knock against him is that he hasn't won a national in singles.
Yeah.
He's knocked on the door once. He's had a really good run, but he's still very consistent. He's sitting at 6th. Doubles, him and Jamie Graham are looking unbeatable. It's hard. It's really hard to make a case against him.
Are they your favorite for cops?
You have to.
I agree.
Absolutely.
I mean, how do you vote against them?
I mean, now if you're talking about betting lines, we'll go into that as we get closer to it. I think there's a few other teams that you can watch out for, but they're definitely the heavy favorites going in, without a doubt. Next, you have Brett Guy.
Let me rip off the stats.
Go ahead, go for it.
All right, Brett Guy, or Eric Davis's partner. Right, 11th in singles,
Solid.
2nd in doubles, ranked 10th in combined PPR at 9.68. Not quite as good as Matt, but I mean he's got a great lineup for Rookie of the Year. The sad part is his dad's also a rookie and has done that much better.
Did Brett Guy silence any critics that he had coming into the season?
100%. And I'm one of them. Like, believe me, I always knew he was a good thrower, but when you're going along with the GOAT, you had to wonder if he was going to be able to keep up with that kind of pace, and man, did he shut me up. Like,
Brett Guy just kind of strikes me as a gamer. You know what I
very
mean?
much so.
Where you could go out in the backyard and you might even be able to sneak a victory off him because he just doesn't care. But when the lights are on, I mean, it's widely known that he is like one of the best big shot makers in the sport.
Yes.
I think sometimes people might have a sour taste in their mouth, especially after the last national in doubles. He didn't have his best performance in the last game. But if you look at the season as a whole, if you take national number 1 away, since then, he's been on a roll.
I totally agree, and I think it was the bag change that made all the difference for him.
It could be, absolutely. His partner, Eric Davis, is currently sitting at 18th in singles, obviously 2nd in doubles, and he has 4 doubles victories with 4 different partners across 1 ACL National and then 3 ACL Open events. I mean, if it wasn't for Matt Guy right now, you could probably say that he's the best doubles player in the world. The thing that I think hurts Eric sometimes in these things is that you have to take statistics into account. He's not that sexy, high PPR player because he really wants to muddy up the game and he wants to make it difficult for his opponent. So he's not a guy. Could he? He probably could shoot an 11 if he really wanted to.
Yeah.
That's just not his. It's just not his style.
His style of play, though, like DPR is what makes the difference for a muddy game player to me.
Yeah.
So, like, I mean, I don't have it sitting in front of me. I could look it up, but we're live, so screw that. But I bet you his DPR is one of the better ones out there.
It's probably right up there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just, again, when you start to really break down the stats and you look at all these things, is that enough to vote for him over somebody like Matt or Brett? I don't think it is. I don't know if it is.
I mean, as impressive as 4 doubles victories with 4 different partners is, to me, like, singles weighs heavily in this as well.
Now, let's say Eric was a top 10 singles player this year as well, then I think his argument even gets stronger.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say he's struggled. 18th is still a
he's
phenomenal feat for a rookie player.
He's not quite there on his own yet, and I think we'll see that come to fruition next season.
I think just another year of maturity.
Yeah, exactly. He's a young kid. Correct. He's going to get better.
Absolutely.
Now, shockingly, in number 4, I don't know if it shocked you at all, but this man is the only other one that was in single-digit ranking for doubles and singles. That's Steven Bernasset.
Yep.
7th in singles, 5th in doubles. Of course, he had that epic run for singles national championship and top 5 finish in all 4 of the nationals in doubles.
Yeah.
That's quite the pedigree. He doesn't have the PPR stats as the other guys ahead of him, but man, is he having a hell of a season. I mean,
when we had him on the show, we talked about it. Like, at that time, I think you could have made a very strong argument that he was going to be the favorite as Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
The problem is the last 2 nationals, not that he had a bad performance, it just wasn't at the same level as, some of these other guys. If he would have made the finals in doubles, maybe that would have helped a little bit. But again, he is rock steady. He's a name that I think as years go on, as long as he stays interested and he keeps practicing all that stuff, I mean, it's only a matter of time before he wins another national.
Yeah.
It's only a matter of time before him and Gustafson finally break through and win a national. Could be at Worlds.
I think it could be at Worlds, man.
They've been knocking on the door.
Actually,
there
to
every
me,
single time.
They're a team that I could see running the gambit in the pro shootout and winning that final one. Because they are a tough beat, especially in round limited.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, I would not be surprised if they took that one home either.
No, me either. And again, these top 4 to me are the clear favorites. Okay, those are the ones that they'll probably earn the first, second, and third place votes between those 4 of them. Probably out of those 4, 3 of those 4 are going to get a first, get a vote. The not so obvious Rookie of the Year candidates to me. One name that popped out was Jordan Power. All right. Now, I think he's a year away. I think he is a guy that strikes me as he could maybe be an MVP candidate next year, or he could be one of those guys that is in like a breakout player list next year.
Yep.
He's currently sitting at 26th in doubles, 53rd in singles, but it's really his stats that pop out at you. He's averaging a 9.92 PPR, and he's one of 4 players to average over a 40% in 4-baggers.
And didn't Trey say that Jordan Power hit the most 4-baggers
in one tournament?
Correct.
I believe it's between doubles and singles. Yeah,
Crazy.
at the final chase. So statistically speaking, he's somebody where his rankings don't necessarily, they're not helping him. But if you look at the statistics and how good he's been actually during matches, that's where he kind of gets that little bump up. Just because statistically, I mean, the kid's just a nightmare.
Yeah.
And again, I think it's he's a year away. I think he's getting used to facing this level of competition, but he's somebody that's only getting better each and every national, and that's scary.
Yes.
The more he's a player that if he goes in and he's confident, that's when he's scary.
Watch out, yeah.
He's really, really good. Really good. All right, the next one. He is a 15-year-old man-child. All right, Caleb Batson. Currently sitting at 34th in singles and 5th in doubles. He is 13th in combined PPR. And he has made 3 of the 4 top 5 finishes in doubles and nationals across the national events.
You take out that very first national, and he has been nothing but steady.
Especially in doubles. Yeah. Singles, again, I think it's similar to Jordan.
And Eric Davis.
And Eric. I think they're maybe just a year away.
Yeah.
But again, he's 15, and it's really scary. And again, 34th is nothing to shy about. I mean, to me, if you're in singles and you're top 50 with a level of talent, I mean, that is tip your cap.
Yes, exactly. I think top 100 tip your cap. I mean,
absolutely.
These are just gauntlets that you're walking into every season.
And you can argue that when they get to the main stage, he's been the one that has shown the brightest.
Yeah. I
mean, he has really held up his end of the bargain, and he's hit some incredible shots. He has every shot in the arsenal. I think it's only a matter of time. I think it's more of a when than if he wins a national championship.
Yeah, I mean, and he's gotta stay hungry.
Yeah.
Don't get complacent. I mean, I fully expect him and Grindersleeve to win a national next season.
I think
as long as Eddie shows up and does what he does, I think they could take one home.
Absolutely. All right, the last one. You want to take the last one?
Last one. I mean, I was a little shocked you threw it on here. Tony Smith. I mean, kid had a nice run in the last national. Currently 39th in singles, 7th in doubles. Him and Stranger they've gotten better consistently.
Yeah.
Every national.
Yeah.
It was fun to watch them grow this year. Obviously, they won't be playing together next season, but I think they got a lot out of each other in this season for doubles to bring themselves to 7th.
Yeah.
The 39th, to me, if Tony would have showed up in the first two nationals, that could easily be a top 15.
They're a perfect example, especially as a doubles team, that shows you have, like we talked last week, about how you have like those 6 doubles teams that are pretty much the staple, right, of who you should bet on to win a national event. Mm-hmm. And then the rest of them, it's like it's a Wild West shootout. Everyone's been so up and down and inconsistent. And that right there just shows that that's how they ended up in 7th place right now.
Yeah.
Singles, Tony Smith at the last national impressed the hell out of me because he lost in a second round match and he battled all the way back and he made it in that Final Four.
Yep.
He had Isidro Herrera dead to rights, 12-0 in the game 2 of a double dip. It could have gone either way. Now, if he would have won that national, I think he belongs in that next group up with Steven, Eric, Brett, and Matt.
I agree. Yeah, if he was there one other time.
But again, I think early season struggles hurts him in this. But I think that he deserved the recognition to be at least part of this list.
I think he might be the one who adapted the quickest to this level of competition, if that makes sense. I mean, he came in as a rookie. He was touted as like this phenom out of Northeast.
I think he had more pressure than anybody.
And I think it was a big shell shock when he first got into ACL.
Because I think if you look at it like, so yes, in this award and how they're breaking it down, yes, Matt, Eric, and Brett, they're rookies in this contest. Yeah. But if you're looking at like true rookies in a big league and really getting used to it, this level of competition, I think you can make the argument that Caleb Batson or Tony Smith. Mm-hmm. You know, I think Tony had more pressure on him.
I have a harder time believing Caleb Batson just because we know what Texas and Cornhole is.
Yeah.
He's been facing deadly competition since he was probably 5 years old. But Tony Smith, no knock on the Northeast, but I mean, the talent just isn't as deep as like you'd find in Texas and stuff.
No, I think it's getting deeper.
Yes, definitely. They're definitely on the rise for sure. But I was just saying, like, the competition moving up to this level wasn't quite there as he was making the steps, and then I think it was a bit of a shell shock the first couple nationals, but he found his groove, man. I'm excited to see what happens next season.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to breakout players. So we have a list of I made a list of 8 players who I would consider breakout players or ones that I would consider making a vote for on this list. This is in no order of how I would vote. Because the votes are actually due this Friday.
Yeah.
This is me. This is actually me talking through some of the research as I was doing it the other night.
There was one name left off of here, but I will.
We'll start with it then.
I mean, the one that you left off was I think Mike Harvey.
So Mike Harvey's a rookie.
So that doesn't count as breakout then?
No.
Okay. All right,
so
I
actually had him on the Rookie of the Year, and I took him off just because when I really started looking at all the stats where he was ranked. I like the guy.
He came on strong late. Yeah, I get it.
I think it was just too late, and he missed a national. You know, what I mean?
One of his appearances was Pro Shootout, which doesn't go into this.
Correct. Yeah. I think that's an important thing to say when we're making our selections for these and we're making our votes. We are not allowed to take into account Pro Shootout finishes and things like that. So, I like Mike. I think he came out a little bit too late. He's another one similar to Jordan Power, where if his stats were where they were at the beginning of the season and he carried that through, maybe his rankings in singles and doubles were right where he wanted to be, but his stats were there, he would have seemed more attractive just based on the stats because he is a very high PPR type player.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Moving on.
All right, so breakout player. The first one I have on the list, again, this is in no order, is Matthew Stout. The reason I consider him a breakout player is because in singles, he went from last season being the 51st ranked player, and he made a big jump all the way to 11th.
Yeah.
Jumping up, to me, that's really hard. Going from, again, a very solid, we said top 50 is outstanding.
Yeah.
But man, making that jump all the way into like a top 15, that's some really tough competition you have to go, and you really have to make some big jumps in your game.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only thing that I think hurts Matthew Stout this year is doubles. Last year they finished 11th. Going into the season, I was thinking that they had all the potential in the world to be a top 5 team. They're currently sitting at 45th.
Yeah.
I think that hurts them to
Absolutely,
get
100%.
like the first place vote necessarily.
And I know that's all not on Matt, but I mean Rocky's a seasoned pro, and like I mean he's looking at his PPR. It's gotten better in doubles the last couple, but to me it does hurt him.
I think that there's arguments to be made that there are maybe other people who have perhaps a better resume.
Yeah.
But again, he was very high at his PPR early on. I think through the first 2 nationals, he was 1 or 2 in combined PPR. The kid has all the talent in the world. He's another one that I think is a matter of when, not if, he wins a national.
And to me, the next name that we have is the one that's done it across both stages, and
he just seems like he's in the mix all the time now.
He is, yeah. And I mean, we're talking about Jimmy Humans.
Yep, friend of the show.
Yeah, friend of the show. Last year, singles finished 51st. This season, 22nd. And then in doubles, 77th. This year, 15th. That's a huge jump in both of them. I mean, it's couldn't happen to a nicer guy, but man, to see put in the work and to see just slinging some serious bags.
And he's also another one that, as the season has progressed, he's only gotten better.
Mm-hmm.
Both as a singles and a doubles player. They've been very consistent. They were kind of like a dark horse of mine for the last national to make a really deep run. They didn't quite have it, but if we're looking at breakout player, that's what you want to see. You want to see somebody who was middle of the pack last year. None of his finishes were terrible.
But you know, we're talking about him now.
Correct.
That's the key.
I find myself, every time we're doing a review, I can't leave him off because I think that he's going to make some noise somewhere.
Yeah.
Whether it's in singles or in doubles. So I think he has the numbers right now, which makes him very attractive for something like a breakout player of the year. What I found ironic, and we'll talk, I guess, jump down to the other guy.
Yeah.
Him and another guy in this list have almost identical stats when it comes to this stuff, and that player is Justin Lang. Justin Lang, and I'm talking about stats, not necessarily where they're finished.
Yeah.
Justin Lang went from 28th in singles to 16th, so again, a sizable jump. I mean, 12 spaces, I mean, still moving the ladder in the right direction. And then doubles went from 68th to 21st. It's freaky how close he and Humans are. They both, I think Justin Lang, if I remember correctly, is averaging a 9.20 in PPR, where Jimmy Humans is a 9.17. You look at their DPR. One is, I think Justin Lang is a .60, or maybe it's a little bit lower. I think it was a .48. Jimmy Humans is like a .39. I mean, they're very close.
Yeah.
Across the board. They're not top 10. They're not top 20. But they just do what they need to do, and they make it difficult, and they grind, and they win.
Well, I mean...
And they've been consistent. And that's the key. I think, to me, breakout player of the year is, could you... Like, so Jimmy Humans last year probably had 1 or 2 nationals that was terrible that hurt his rankings.
Yeah.
This year, he's eliminated that.
Yeah.
And that's how you make that big jump.
But, I mean, to me, another big... I mean, what's alluring to them is that they were ranked so high last year, and they got so much better in a year where the talent was so much better.
Correct. Yeah.
So they made that huge jump and like jumped ahead of people that were way ahead of them before last season, and I mean they're just consistently near the top like we've been saying, and to me like that's key for breakout player of the year.
Yep.
And I mean the next one that we have on the list too.
This is my dark horse.
She is 100% my dark horse because dude, all right, let's just say the stat. In singles, she went from 140th to 30th. And
currently the highest ranked female in singles.
Highest ranked female. She's 9th in combined PPR between singles and doubles with a 9.7.
Again, the highest female by far.
Nasty. Like she is.
We're talking about Cheyenne Renner.
Cheyenne Renner.
Now her doubles finish, it's not that great. Okay, I didn't look at where she finished last year compared to this year. I just think that she has put herself in a position where she's no longer anybody that she's a player that nobody wants to face anymore.
Exactly.
And anytime you can go from ranked 140th to 30th,
With a better field.
I mean, that just shows how crazy consistent she's been, how dominant she's been at times.
Absolutely.
And this is taking the women's side completely out of it. This is just pro singles. How great of a season she's had. To me, she definitely deserves a nod in this voting. Just based on this and statistics. I mean, 9.70. She's ranked 9th out of 256 players in combined PPR. That's just
she puts bags
ludicrous.
in the hole and does it better than 241 other people.
I mean, so she's crazy talented. I thought it would be unfair to leave her off the list.
I agree.
Just based off the season that she's had.
I was happy that you put her up there because, I wholeheartedly agree.
The next few guys, let me go over the next one. I think is one that definitely deserves, and he could definitely win this award. Okay,
a marked improvement, the biggest jump.
Mike Ferreira, Emperor they call him.
Yeah,
he went from 154th in singles to 18th, and then in doubles he went from 79th to 16th. He has lower stats when you compare him to like a Jimmy Humans and Lang. But if you're looking at who was somebody that no one would even have known he was a pro, unless you like knew him personally, to someone that you were considering has a possibility to make a big splash every tournament, it's Emperor.
Yep.
Not a huge fan of his shoe wear, but his cornhole game is dead on. His finishes, you can't say anything negative about him. A jump this big shows, that is exactly what I think we're looking for in something like a breakout player.
Yeah, in both categories too, not just singles, but doubles as well.
Correct. And now, he did have a different doubles partner, but you can say the same about Jimmy Humans and Justin Lang.
Yeah.
All three of them had different doubles partners. That could definitely play a role. So that's why sometimes I think singles is sometimes a greater representative of how much the person has improved. And then went from 154th to 18th. He's a top 20 singles player right now. Last year, you could have forgotten about the guy.
Yeah, absolutely. And then one that we did forget about last year, but has made a decent jump this year, Mike Jacques.
Yeah.
200th in singles last year, all the way up to 60th.
Now, last year 200th might have been a little bit of it probably wasn't accurate, only because he was out for most of the year with an injury.
Yeah.
But I've been talking about him a lot in previews because I think people needed to recognize just how talented this guy is. And for him to finish 60th after basically, I think he only played in like one national last year. For basically not participating and then going in again, like you said, against a tougher competition level this year and getting that top 60 finish. I think is he going to win it? No. Is he worth mentioning about how much of an improvement he made? Absolutely.
Yeah,
I thought it would have been a shame to leave him off the list.
Yeah, no, I agree. And then one that I get why you threw it on here, but I don't really consider him a breakout player.
I was going back and forth, but go ahead.
Devin Harbaugh.
Yeah.
In singles went from 25th last season to 8th this season. A great jump. He is already touted as one of the best players in cornhole.
But was he taken seriously before this year?
I think him being with Corwin.
Everybody knew his potential.
Yeah.
But was anyone picking him to win a national before this year?
Not in singles, no.
Okay.
I think in doubles, him with Corwin, people recognize Corwin because he had Birchfield the year before, had Devin last year, and they were throwing really well together for most of the season.
Yeah.
And we knew how good Devin was just from seeing him around here. And, the kid's a stud. This year, their doubles fell off. I don't think Corwin's able to get out to throw very often.
Yeah.
I know he was having COVID issues and stuff with his family, and I think he's just a busy guy. So, but for Devin Harbaugh to jump from 25th in singles to 8th, in this field, man, it is impressive.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a great jump. But
do I think he's going to win it? No, just because I think other people's jumps were perhaps more impressive.
Yeah.
And again, doubles this year hurt him in this. Now, if he would have had a top 10 finish in doubles and he finished top 10, I think then you could have made the argument that, like, hey, I know people knew his name, but he really came to the scene. This was his season. This was his coming out party. And I think that should still count as a breakout player.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be someone like a Cinderella story where you came from last place to, top 50.
Top 50.
I think there should be some emphasis placed on, just like Justin Lang. Justin Lang was a top 30 player last year in singles. He was a top 70 players in doubles. I mean, he's just top 25 in both.
Yeah.
That's... it's still worthy of it. I just think doubles is going to hurt Hardball this year. I still think that this is going to be the year that we remember as Hardball's coming out party.
Yeah, and then the last name we have on the list,
I think he's had a sneaky, great season.
You and I know that he's having a great season. I feel like he's kind of fallen under the radar for some reason, but Mr. Jay Corley, the guy went from 88th in singles last year to 38th this year, and in doubles, 55th to 14th. Him and John Fuentes have been throwing some great bags together.
They make a really good pair.
Yeah, and
for guys that have never played together and then they just decided to pair up, they had a really good season. And I actually, Jay had posted something the other day, and I just said, like, hey, dude, you're having a killer season.
Yeah.
I mean, he really is. I mean, again, he's under the radar. You don't hear a whole lot. He's not making it to the Final Four or anything, but again, he's just rock steady every tournament he's going to with steady finishes, right around that, 35 to like 50 range.
Yeah, absolutely. No,
he seems like somebody that maybe next year he can make even a bigger jump.
Yeah.
And I think Corley always struck me as somebody as like he needed confidence.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If he can just finally feel comfortable and confident, maybe get a little swag. You watch him in his TikTok videos, the guy has swag.
He does.
You know what I mean? Like he's confident stuff. I think he just needs to take that swag from those videos and all the trick shots and then be able to translate it into competition.
Absolutely.
And that's when he's going to be really scary.
You know who I'd love to see throw together with Corley?
Who?
I'd love him to throw with either AJ Sims or Josh Gross.
Yeah.
I don't know why. I just feel like maybe him and Josh. I feel like they would be a nasty duo because I feel like they both approach the game in the same way.
Yeah, it could be.
With like the analytics and stuff.
Yep.
I mean,
and Corley was a very early on friend of the show. So I've always kind of been a fan of his, and I've always kind of kept an eye on it. And again, he just a very sneaky, solid season. So those are all the players that we considered to be the top in the list of Rookie of the Year and breakout players. I'm humbled that we get to even make a selection for this.
Absolutely.
I'm taking it very seriously. I'm not done doing my research. I'm probably going to be up till Thursday night at midnight before I submit all this stuff.
This will be my starter, but
correct.
There's some that aren't listed that I'm going to take a deeper look at and go through it on there. I will probably put money down that you and I will not vote the same on any of these.
No, and listen, we're brothers. There's a lot of stuff that we disagree on,
Absolutely.
Especially when it comes to rankings.
Yeah.
So
we'll see how it goes.
You make yours, I'll make mine, and then we'll show each other in secret, and we'll compare. I'll be interested to see if we pick the same three people, but maybe not in the same order.
I think we'll have at least two of the same in each.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, the order might be a little different.
I think that's safe to say. All right, let's go ahead and jump over to the bag review. Bag review is brought to you by Bagsboard, the maker of the original Cornhole bag backpack and sweet-ass jerseys as Dane is rocking. Now offering you a build-your-own feature that has over 10,000 combinations to choose from. Need patches to go on that sweet-ass bag? Bagsboard has some of the best around. So visit bagsboard.com and grab yours today. Okay, so let's start off with the Crazy 8 bag company. All right.
Okay.
It's the Dominator.
I'll take this other one.
They made us a little sweet custom bag here, so if you can see it, it kind of fades from white down to black. They put our little logo at the top. This is a one-of-one type of design. It's just for us, which I love it.
Feels special.
So if we're characterizing this bag, it's a carpet bag with a slick side. Immediately, if you're asking me, which bag does it compare to the most? The first bag that comes to mind is a Tango.
Yes.
The second bag would be a Mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Same carpet. Why the
Tango?
Why the Tango? Same slick side. So it has that BG, I guess as we're calling it now, BG carpet. All right, same stuff that is on the Viking and the Mercenary. And then it has the Viper slick side. It has a very, if we're talking about shape of the bag, it's much closer to a Tango than it is a BG bag. It's pretty squared bag. It's a fuller bag, right?
But not. Oh, excuse me. Not as nearly as thick as a Tango though.
No, not nearly as thick. I think the fill in this is a little bit bigger than what's in a Tango.
Yeah.
But it plays very similar too. Again, I have always been a fan of Viper Slick Side. I feel comfortable. I know it's a great pushing material in all. I mean, basically, especially with carpet bags, you can keep your same throw. You just hit it square, and it's going to push through anything.
Scoop it right up.
In humidity, it does very well. So speed-wise, carpet side, 3-4, like right around. I know it's so hard when we're going on a 10-point scale, but 3 or 4. The slick side is like a 9 out of 10. Overall, I thought it was good. Again, a very squared bag. It's very well made. The seams are all very nice. I like the design on it. It plays very well. You can, again, if you're a flop roll type player, it's great. If you like to play a block airmail, a block push, this is a bag that's going to be right up your alley. It's definitely, if you're a carpet guy and you want something that's available and you want something that's a little bit different than what everyone else has out there, I definitely recommend checking out Crazy 8 Bag Company, the Dominator.
I wholeheartedly agree. It's a great reactive bag if you like to play a dirty game. This will do all the shots that you want. It's got the cut. It's got the roll. The bigger fill does make it a little more susceptible to a roll shot. I feel like it's very uniform in there too. I will say
it breaks in pretty quick.
It breaks in very quick, and I mean with that Viper Slick Side, I mean it makes the carpet that much more hole forgiving. Again, we've been huge advocates for the Tango. This to me is, I mean, it's a good alternative for the Tango.
Yeah. It is. That's the first thing when I picked it up out of the box. I'm like, oh, this feels familiar.
Yeah,
it you know what I mean? Like
does,
that square. Now, I'll be interested to see what happens with the corners. Like, it's a very sharp. I feel like they'll round out a little bit as the bag breaks down. The material will start to stretch. But all in all, I mean, this is pretty much broken in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, ready to go right away.
You can step up to the board with this.
And this was, a day or two throwing it on the boards, just testing out speeds and stuff, and it broke in very quickly. Which is, again, one of the things I like about that Viper Slick material is it breaks in pretty quick. If we're going design, I like it. It's a custom design. I like the faded out white to, just kind of goes from white to black all the way down. I like the name of the bag. I think it's very creative.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I like when companies,
and
especially that first line.
It's an 8 or, so
yeah.
It's got an 8 in there. So
I just
clever.
think, I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I think it's when people take time in naming their stuff. I think to me that means more.
Yeah.
I don't like when companies are like Rainstorm. You know what I mean? Like why? Like this doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't mean anything. So
Fury.
I like when, especially when the first bag they come out with, it should reflect your brand a little bit.
Absolutely.
So I liked it. So if we're going design, I'm going to go with an 80. I liked it. I think it was very clean. I like the design. I actually kind of like the font on it too.
I like all the use of the different fonts throughout
Correct.
it. It's I mean it's cool. I wonder how much this bag will pop on a board. But I'm going to stay a little bit lower than you, but it's still a great design. So let's go 75 on it.
And then performance-wise,
I mean, me and carpet. It's a good bag. I'm gonna stick to mid 80s. Let's go like 86.
Okay, I'm gonna go a little bit lower. I know I'm a big fan of the Tango, and that's probably like one of my next to like Pro Advantage is like my favorite carpet bag. And I know the materials are the same. I'm just a bigger fan of the WTF fill that they use.
Yeah.
It tends to be a little bit smaller. I feel like it just comes out of my hand a little bit cleaner. I can spin the bag a little bit more. But for a carpet bag for me, I'm gonna give it like a 70. I think it's very solid. And again, if you listen back to all the carpet scores I've given, it's very above average for me to give a carpet bag.
Yeah. I mean, for comparison, if I was gonna rate the Tango like fresh out of the box when I got it, it would have probably been like a 75.
Yeah.
That might be like my highest rated bag now that it's broken in.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, I love that bag, so I would probably put that as like a 98 now.
Yeah. This might be a bag if you come back to us in a month and we keep throwing it. It could go up into the 80s for me.
I think I could definitely get with this bag for sure.
Absolutely. It's a great bag. So, well done, Crazy Eights Bag Company. Okay. So, the next one is another newer bag company called Black Sheep Baggers. I guess which one do you want to start with?
Let's stick with the carpet.
Okay, all right. So I'm going to let you take this one.
Okay.
So this is called the OG.
The OG. You guys can see it. So OG, it is a carpet bag.
I hate to do this to you.
Yeah.
I'm thirsty. Can you hook me up with another one?
Yeah.
Sorry, the cooler's over there. I can't reach.
You didn't even flash me the eyes.
I know. I'm sorry, but they're rolling, and
There
I'm
you
like,
go.
oh, I ran out.
Don't you worry.
Sorry.
Got to cover the thirst first.
All right, continue.
All right, so OG from Black Sheep. It's a carpet bag. So it's similar to BG carpet, but it's not BG carpet actually.
No.
It has a thicker weave to it.
Yeah.
We were both talking like the thickness of the weave kind of reminds us of like the local regulator, but it's not the same.
Or
carpet.
the Nola Gator.
Or Nola Gator, yeah, but it's not the same carpet on it. It's not as
it
like
doesn't have like
burlappy.
Yeah. Yep.
So this still feels very similar to that BG carpet, maybe a little thicker.
It's almost like I would love to know if it's like the reverse side of one of those carpets.
See, I know it's not because the weave is just thicker.
I'm not saying of this specific carpet, but of another carpet. You know what I mean? Because it is really thick.
Yeah, it is. It's a very thick carpet, but nonetheless, it is still a little floppy. I mean, you guys can see it's moving, so it breaks down quickly. I mean, I probably threw this for like 3 hours to get a good review on it, and I mean, it was breaking down with every throw. So, slick side, we were talking. We believe it's a game changer on this guy.
It plays quick.
It is fast. Yeah, it's a fast slick side. The carpet is honestly like I'm gonna put it as a solid 3.
And the only reason we're saying we believe it is with the print on it. It's a very dark print. It's hard to see the stream, but I'm again. We've thrown enough bags. I'm 99% sure that's what it is.
It has the same weave pattern as Game Changer.
And it's testing faster than a Viper Slick, so
yeah.
I'm just going to go ahead and say that's what it is.
Yeah, usually means it's Game Changer, but yeah, so like I said, the carpet on this one, though, I'm putting it as a straight 3. We don't get up into that 4 on this carpet at all.
And in humidity, that shit slows down.
Yeah, when it's humid, it is like glue.
Yeah.
So maybe... you got to get used to throwing it outside. Yeah. Especially up here. I mean, summertime, it's all humidity all the time. All in all, though, I was a big fan of this bag. It's got a great feel to it. It feels universal throughout. It's small. It's not huge. It's a good size fill in it. Rounded corners on the template.
Yes.
It's got a great finishing seam at the top. I mean, it's a clean bag.
It's a big bag for rounded corners.
It is a big bag.
It plays big.
Yeah. It does. So, to me, like, this template, it kind of reminds me of, like, the new Kill Shots template.
Yeah.
Like, where it's a little bit bigger bag, but but yeah, this still has the thickness to it, so it's a good thick bag. You can get some meat in there when you go to throw it.
But not like, I wouldn't call it like fat though.
No, it's not fat. But
you know what I mean? Because like you might...
It's thick enough though where like you can get a full palm full.
It's not like a floppy...
I have big hands, so like I like to get a lot of fill in my palm when I go to throw it. This one you're definitely capable of doing it.
Yeah.
All in all, like I was a fan. So you want to rip off design scores and...
So the design score for the OG, we got the skeleton smoking a cigar...
try to hold it up.
It's sitting in front of like a blue hot rod kind of thing. I like it. I think it's very creative. I think sometimes it's hard to see a little bit.
A little bit.
Overall design, I'll give it a 72. I mean, I like it. I'm just not a big like skull dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, but I like it. It's very creative.
I like what he's going for.
I think it's different color variation. Maybe it pops a little bit more. It's
Yeah.
easier to see. That's really my only downfall with it.
I look at this and then I keep seeing the next bag we're going to review, and I'm like, this one's cool. The next one's way sweeter for design, but this guy, I mean, I'll give it a 75.
Okay.
All right, I like the design. Performance though, I'm gonna go flat 80 on it.
Okay.
My only deterrent was how much it was affected by the humidity.
Okay.
Because we're in summertime, half of our tournaments are outside. Yeah. So you got to have a bag that you can throw in both, and this one, if it's humid. It's basically like throwing suede.
Yeah. Again, this carpet is probably a little bit too slow for me. I've been trying my best to adjust to like carpet type bags because I see that's where a lot of the trend in bag world is going, and I just need to get used to it. This is probably just a little bit too slow for me. I'm going to give this like a 58. Again, I like the slick side. If me and Dane were going to go to a tournament and throw this bag, I might even just flip this bag over and play slick side the whole time. It just tends to play a little bit slow, and if I get lazy at all, and I don't throw this bag flat, it really kicks on
It'll
me.
kick,
It
yeah.
really kicks. And again, if I don't get my bag flat, I'm a righty. I tend to get that very big left to right kick.
Yeah.
And I was having a hard time getting a consistent like 10. Throwing this, I would get a lot of 8s, a lot of 6s with this hung up, and but again, a very well made bag. I like the template of it. It's a bigger, rounded template, which I appreciate. It's something a little bit different, and I think the pairing of materials is smart. Just for me and my personal, it's just there.
No, I agree. And just a little side note: this bag will do all the shots you want.
Correct.
It'll cut, roll, do all of that. I did have a little issue. Like, I know you were saying that you were getting the left to right.
Yeah.
I couldn't get this bag to do that for me.
Oh.
And that's a shot that I've been working on because I have the right to left. I was trying to get
Mine
the
is
left
just
to
natural.
Right.
If I don't,
I know it is. Yeah. But
really
for
at
me,
it.
I'm used to getting like a little kick. For some reason, mine was just like hitting, and sometimes it was like, it comes in at like that sideways angle,
Yeah.
and it was just like. I don't know if it was hitting like corner down, but it was like standing up like that. And
Sometimes
never,
what
like,
I find,
falling to the right.
with the rounded corners, if you have it angled almost too much, you're almost gliding on that slick side, and you're not going.
That might have been it then.
I think that's what
I might
it
have
is.
just had too
if
much
you're
of an
too
angle.
yeah, correct. If you're trying to get too cute and really carve, I think that's really what it comes
That
down
could
to.
be it.
All right, so let's move on to the last bag of the group. This is the Costello. The slow side of this bag. So I'm going to call this like a control bag. Again, I think it's a smart pairing of these two bags.
Absolutely,
So you go with a carpet bag with a very super slick side, and you're going to have something that's very
Right in the middle.
right in the middle for a lot of what people are looking for.
Yeah.
So the slow side is very popular. Okay, right now it's like if you've thrown a Big Daddy Tsunami, you've thrown a Pro Sniper, you've thrown name X bag with this reverse material on it. All right,
Yep.
This reverse slide right material. That's what this is on the slow side. It's like it's almost got like that waxy type feeling on it at first. Once it breaks down completely, it becomes like butter, but it takes a while to get that waxy feel off it.
Yeah.
It plays like a 6. Now the other side of this, when I first picked it up and I started playing with it, I'm like, it looks pretty similar to like Game Changer material. But then we started playing with it and we even board tested it, and it was only playing like an 8.
Yeah.
Like a 7, 8.
Whereas the fast side of the OG was playing at pretty close to a 10.
Yeah,
I mean,
so, but again, I like this bag much more than I like the OG. It reminded me a little bit of like a thicker Pro Sniper. The first bag that really came to mind to me when I picked this bag up was the Big Daddy Tsunami. That's the first bag I thought of.
I agree.
Same template, maybe just a little bit thinner, but very similar material pairings. With
Reminded me of the Bag Daddy 3.0.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yep. So again, same template, rounded template. It's a bigger bag. This is pretty hole forgiving right out of the
Dude,
bag.
right
I
out-
mean, that's
right
the
out of
nice
the
thing about
box.
these material pairings. Again, I threw it very well. This is something that you can still get to cut if you want to.
Mm-hmm.
It tends to cut more if the board's obviously a little tacky, a little humidity, especially when the bags are new.
Yeah.
As the bags really start to
down
break
that
in,
slow
yeah,
side.
because when it gets that little waxy, if you're in humidity, it really tacks
Yeah.
up a little bit and slows down a lot. But just playing with this material a lot, we just know that speed is right around a 6.
Yeah, I mean,
and this again, this is just based on board test. The slick side was like a 7.5, 8.
Yeah.
Max.
I agree. To me, like I'm getting better with control bags.
Yeah.
And this one is definitely. I would definitely throw this as a control bag, 100%.
Yeah.
Like you said, you got those middle speeds of 6 and 8. Dude, I mean, a thicker Pro Sniper, like you said.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
The template, I love their template. I
The
like
slick
their
side is
fill.
much slower than a Pro Sniper, so I want to be
Yes.
careful comparing it to that. That's what I say.
But it's that
Tsunami
slow
is.
side. I mean,
it's-
I rarely throw the slick side of a bag.
That's
so
true.
I'm pretty
Yeah,
much
yeah.
always throwing slow.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean, it did remind me of that, but it had the thickness that I need to get an accurate bag out of my hand.
Yep.
All in all, dude, I was actually surprised at how much I liked that bag.
Design score. First of all, I know you're gonna love
Dude.
it because orange.
Orange, and it pops that slow
It really
side.
does.
I mean, so this is the slow side you're seeing at home there. Yeah, sexy AF. Dude, I gotta give this one a 96.
I do like it. The slow side pops. It's a white background with the orange writing with the black outline.
And then, not to mention, I mean, I know you're not a Skull fan, but we'll show the
It
people
is.
at
It's
home.
the artwork. I can
The
appreciate
artwork. on the other side is so badass.
And again, this is the Costello
It's
bag.
real cool.
Yeah, I'm going to go pretty high on this one, man. I like this. I'm going to go 85. I like it.
For
I like the
everything
color
that the
schemes.
OG that we had an issue with, this one corrected it.
Correct.
And I think those colors, like, it stands out on a board tenfold.
Completely agree. Slick side. Oh, I'm sorry. Design performance score.
There
I don't
you
know.
go.
Slick side. I was like staring at the
You're
slick
staring
side.
at the slick side.
Performance
like,
score.
Yeah, slick side.
I'm gonna go with. Again, I like it. It's not my favorite bag I've ever thrown. If I'm being completely honest, I'm gonna go 78.
Okay.
I like it. I mean, it's good. Again, it's to me. Again, we've said it 1,000 times. Anything over than like a 60, I throw again.
Surprisingly, I'm gonna be close to you on this one. I'm gonna go 75.
Okay.
I liked the speeds on each side, and yeah, it's a good control bag. I was a fan.
All right. I think that pretty much sums up all three of the bag reviews. So big thank you to Crazy 8 Bag Company and Black Sheep Baggers. Keep up the good work. Make sure you check them out on Facebook. When I post the episode tomorrow, I'll tag both company. I'm not putting them in the show notes. I'm not going to say that, but I'll tag it in our Facebook post. Okay, so go over there, Dane.
Shameless plugs.
To the rap porn. All right, reach us at Instagram and Twitter at Big Ass Cornhole
and Facebook at Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. Thanks again to our sponsors. Visit airwolfathletics.com for all your cornhole swag. Use code BIGASS, it'll get you 10% off. And iHeartCornhole.com for the best boards in the business. Code BIGASS10 gets you 10% off.
Bagsboard.com for the sexiest backpack and patches around. And BlackjackCornhole.com for the sexiest bags around. Code BIGASS can save you 10%. Apple Podcast reviews, drop those reviews. 5 stars are always appreciated. As always, if you drop us a review, you send me a screenshot of it, and not just the stars, a little written review, I'll send you a sticker.
And make it funny. We like to read them.
Be sure to check out harddragpush.com, your one-stop shop for all cornhole content. Recently posted on Facebook. If you go to the fun random shit page of harddragpush.com, you can check out our fun random shit interview from the Ohio State Cornhole Championships.
And I think one man stood alone in that. That's literally the first one, but J-Dot.
Oh, killed it.
J-Dot, I love you, brother. You are hilarious.
Absolutely. July 31st. Mark your calendars at 3 p.m. The second annual Sarchion Ford of Waynesburg Cornhole Tournament is happening during the East Sparta Homecoming. The event is being held at the in East Sparta, Ohio, just outside of Canton, Ohio. It's $50 per team. No 2 advanced players are allowed together. There's $1,100 in total payouts are happening. You can call or message Carl Rausch on Facebook. You can contact us if you need help registering for the event, and we will certainly point you in the right direction. If all goes to plan, Big Ass Brothers are going to be there commentating, or fuck it, we might even play. I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
But probably commentating.
Did that go through with the?
Not yet.
Okay.
If 10 teams sign up and you tell Carl that you signed up and you heard it from us, if there's 10 teams, those 20 people that are part of those teams, I'm going to randomly give away a set of 724 bag companies to one of you 20 people. So
dope.
Reach out to Carl, contact him, tell him Big Ass sent you, and you might be eligible for some sweet shit.
Heck yeah.
Obviously, The Clash. Reggie writes. The Clash. Selling out quickly.
Yeah, he sent us an update, actually. So he is at 100.
Selling out quickly. It is September 23rd and 24th. It's in Cedar Rapids, Iowa. It is going to be the event to end all events this year. You're going to have people as cool as us. Dogcast, the Jersey guy, I think Ben from Scoreholio. There's going to be a whole bunch of good... It's just going to be a good, awesome weekend. So please come join us at the Clash in Cedar Rapids, Iowa, September 23rd, 24th.
He's got 116 teams paid. There's only 28 spots left.
Woo, better get on it.
Better get in there.
Better get on it. Next week, we're going to break down the MVP award and those nominated, and we're also going to discuss our biggest disappointments of the season. And yeah, and then we'll have a guest. It might maybe Mike Harvey if he's available because he was sick last week.
We'll see.
Come on, but we'll pay attention. Okay. As always, we hope you throw it straight, and it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later. All right. I
First off, welcome back to the Big Ass Cornhole Podcast. we don't have another interview this week because apparently everyone's preoccupied with other things to come on the show. I don't know about you. I know we agreed to not rant, but I work over 75 hours a week. You're a physical therapist that manages 5 clinics. We do this out of the kindness of our own heart to try to give people a platform to go on, and it fell through again. So we apologize to our fans.
I'm gonna keep this as civil as I can. There's a lot I could say. I'm crazy disappointed. I was looking forward to the interview with Noah. I thought that there was going to be a pretty good conversation to be had. I still think that there could be a conversation to be had in the future, so I'm going to leave it at that. Again, we apologize. We had the interview lined up. We had made contact 25 minutes before the interview was going to start, and then we're not sure what happened, but again, we need time to edit this episode, so it's up for you guys all on Wednesday, and so we stay on our schedule. And hopefully we're able to reschedule the Wooten interview sometime in the future, but it's just not happening tonight. So with that, we just wanted to come on and just unfortunately let you guys know that the interview's just not happening. So
yeah, and I mean, for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see the disappointment on our face.
Yeah.
Like Sean said, we were looking forward to talking to Noah and Hunter. I mean,
we've been waiting for over an hour.
Two of the up and coming bright spots of the youth part of the league coming up, and we got ghosted, as the kids like to say. So don't really know what else to say. I mean, it's I want to put my goddamn fist through a wall right now.
All right. Before we say anything we're going to regret, let's sign off. So once again, as always, we hope you throw it straight, and it's nothing but 4 baggers from here on out.
Cornhole it.
Later.